Hello and welcome to the B Button episode 45. I'm your host Baron Marf and I'm joined as always by the one and only Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Getting there slowly.
Bit by bit.
Yeah,
pacing yourself for the week.
Wading through this cloud of vapour.
Yes, yeah, it's like some sort of Spinal Tap show, I don't know. So, gaming week, what have you been up to?
Just mainly been blasting out Yakuza, but I also tried out Fire Emblem Mobile, because that released this week.
Yeah, I saw it. It's free, isn't it?
It's
got obviously some sort of in-game purchases, I see.
Yeah, well, it's like the gacha machines, you know, you just buy credits and you can put them in and you get another character of various rarity or quality, blah blah blah. But you know, it's been pretty good. I mean, the levels are split up nicely. It's sort of real short, sharp gameplay, so it's perfect. It's been perfectly sort of moulded down to the mobile medium. Yeah,
they seem to be good at doing this at the moment. Anything that Nintendo IPs are sort of or related IPs are moving their way into. So yeah, no, I'm glad to see it. I'm really interested to play it. Actually, it looked great, but I haven't got around to it quite yet.
No, but Yakuza is definitely one that's taken up the time though.
Yeah,
just unlocked all like the business side of it, where you basically just go and own the entire town.
Right.
Absolutely stacks of cash. So yeah, just been working my way to taking over that.
You're saying there's some pretty costly upgrades out there.
Oh god, yeah, like 1 billion yen to get some of the new skills and off the skill wheel. Yeah,
the fat cash.
Hideous. But you know, it's easy enough to earn up now.
It probably sounds a lot bigger because it's yen opposed to like GBP.
I think it's like 700 yen to the pound or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Good.
How about yourself?
For me, do you know what? It's been a peculiar gaming week. It's had the staple of Gears. Gears has been going down. There's been an upgrade to the local internet connection around here again because I found a massive hole in my internet wire, so I did wonder why I was dropping out occasionally. But so yeah, got onto a bit of Gears, running really solidly now, happy with that. Also, couldn't help myself, had to play a bit of Skyward Sword. Went back to the Wii version of Zelda. 25th anniversary, so all of those sort of tips of the cap are in there. But yeah, I had to start it. Literally got myself to the point where Link's got on the uniform, he's got the sword.
The game itself begins. You got through the tutorial, sort of 2 hours.
The nougat tree. Hey, you live in this village. There's some sort of nominal task of going around and like collecting berries for somebody, and whoever wins the ceremony is the holy one or the chosen one.
We're going to spend 3 hours teaching you something you could have read in 5 minutes.
You got it. But do you know, some really nice nuances in that game. Like I was saying to you earlier on about the control methods, where you can do sort of the fatal blow where you lift the controllers up.
Well, it's actually utilising the Wiimote a bit better, isn't it?
Wii Plus, so that's really good. But also little things like the typical, you know, like you pick up a pot to throw it.
Yeah.
Where you can carry it, or you lift it up and then throw it with the controller. But also you can hold it down and roll it like it's a bowling ball.
Sweet.
So yeah, cool stuff, and obviously use it with bombs later. But the main tricky one is, so earlier on in the week, somebody, I won't point out who, but somebody was monitoring Galgun on a local internet shop and pointed out to me that it was a meagre £25, and it's one of these games I've been so interested about how inappropriate it was. I kind of wanted to see it, but I knew none of my social group would have it. So when it went to £25, I was like, right, just purely as a social experiment, at least that was the excuse I told myself.
Now I can use science as an excuse.
I bought it. And I've been tentatively waiting to play it all week and tried it for the first time last night. Why night I chose, I don't know. But talk a little bit more about it later. But worrying. Anyway, look, we should just move on to the news section because
quickly move on.
It's like I've got a massive, like B button barge pole here, and I'm just pushing that topic away. Get it away from me. Look, let's go on over to Bullet Bill's Big Three. Oh yeah, it's the news. It's Bullet Bill's Big Three. And first bullet hole for this week. What we got, Link?
We have some PS4 firmware details. The new update It's being released in beta format, I think end of this month.
Okay.
But some new features. Finally, external hard disk drive support.
Right, so this is a new feature, apparently. I assumed, and probably incorrectly, but I always thought that you could just plug in a hard drive to your PS4, use it as an external memory.
You can, as long as it was for just media. So they've made that change. I mean, I've always found it slightly a lesser argument for the PS4 because how easy it is to take it out and replace the hard drive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it doesn't even void the warranty to do so.
Right.
Yeah. So, it was always a fairly easy job. But they have now obviously extended the ability to hold games, applications, and media files. But not save files. They still need to stay on the internal.
That's weird.
Yeah, I think it's to do something the way that the system UI works and the background stuff.
I mean, I assume they don't take up a huge amount of room. But
No, like you say, I think the worst ones were like the Bethesda games, and they're like 3 meg each for each save file. But when you've got like 100 of them, you're like, shit, there's fucking loads. I know when I had no memory. But a big one is the PS4 Pro Boost. So this is, and I quote, improved gameplay including higher frames per second or a higher frame rate for some games that were released before the Pro may cause unknown effects. So
may cause unknown effects?
Yeah.
What does that mean? I mean,
it might cause something that they don't know.
So that they just left the realms of possibilities.
It's just basically we'll pump some extra juice into it. What happens? Pass.
It's like that machine out of the improbable teleportation machine. Where you're a sofa or you're
something like that. Yeah. PSVR is getting some new features.
Okay.
So you can now watch 3D Blu-rays through your VR headset.
Cool, that's pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool feature. And there's just some other ones. You've got custom wallpapers finally. You can update your PSN feeds directly, so you don't have to actually achieve something like playing Galgun for the first time.
Yeah, alright. Yeah.
There's a simpler notification, so it's all, as opposed to several different lists of notifications, it's all just one page now. And you can access the party options from like the quick menu when you hold down the PS button. You get the little side menu.
Yeah, their side menu is weird. It's just got a load of stuff in there. I'm like, I don't need that regularly.
No, but then obviously this is off the back of Microsoft released a couple of weeks ago some details about their new update as well. So that's looking good. They're changing the guide on that.
Yeah,
which looks a lot more streamlined and a lot more efficient. And they're getting rid of Snap. So you could it will just be one button press as well, so none of this fucking I've got to press it twice but I pressed it too fast, it thinks it's one button press, so it's just gone back to the whole main bloody menu.
I did watch Larry Herb explain how you could then instantly go from this to that to be able to record in one button press, and he was like, so first you press the home button. I was like, right,
that's your one button press, Larry.
And then wait, and I was like, no, wait, this is all falling apart, Larry. But anyway, either way.
And they've changed it so you can set the time when you record that as well. In sort of from that, so you can record the last 5 minutes, last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I saw that.
That looked good. So some good improvements across the board from them both.
Yeah, looks good. Cool. Well, look, busting over to our second bullet hole for this week. A gentleman called Gerard, or actually you may know him better as a completionist. He's got a YouTube series. I advise you to go have a look at it. Had what I thought was a really, really good interview with Shigeru Miyamoto and IG Numa, just all about Breath of the Wild and what he likes to do. So generally what he's been doing for the last however many odd years now is systematically going through every game that he comes across and completing it. So
attempting to 100% it.
100% in 1 week. And he's obviously done all of the Zeldas. And when we say done all of the Zeldas, I mean this guy has done all of the Zeldas, like Majora's Mask, the original version, then the 3DS version,
Same with the Ocarina of Time,
Master Collection, all those sorts of variation. Yeah, just I mean,
basically, if there's been a Zelda, I think the only ones he probably hasn't done is the CDI ones.
yeah, and I can't blame him.
No.
They're not Zeldas. But anyway, but yeah, so even if you look at save files, I mean, this guy's got it covered, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of you're looking through, and it's like, actually, he's not just maxed it on one save file, he's maxed it on all of the save files. I mean, this guy even went through Triforce Heroes in multiplayer and single player separately.
So he's got his chops.
Yeah.
So what were they mainly talking about?
Well, the main piece was all around, he was hoping to obviously 100% Breath of the Wild. So his sort of opening gambit in the interview was, I do this. I'm assuming obviously I won't be able to do it in a week. To which immediately Inui said, well, actually, you won't be able to 100% it at all.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
No, it was an interesting discussion, because obviously, wasn't it? He was saying he was going through his history with the games, and they were talking, obviously, Miyamoto, about how the design process of it. And it was really interesting to find out how they started with just a giant field, and they just kept adding stuff.
Kept building up, yeah.
It's a brilliant design through iteration.
They were saying that basically they when they do their games, they have two. They always have it in two sort of different types. They refer to them. The ones that they have sort of a core gameplay, and they know straight off the beginning it's just going to be great fun. And then the second one is where they develop it over time and then find if there is or isn't fun.
Splatoon's a good example.
When they play it, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously that one, they had this great little prototype, and they then built the game and all of the story around that prototype and that initial idea.
And for me, I always think that's, if they can do that, that's the way games should be built at the end of the day, because it's all about the gameplay, isn't it? So that makes it work. But they said actually with Breath of the Wild, it wasn't the case. As they took this sort of systematic approach of kind of going Link in an open plane, Link in like an open plane which has now got some grass on it, then trees, then buildings, then landscape. When they started doing that, they said that they really didn't know what it was going to end up being like, and they didn't know at what point to stop adding stuff. You know,
wasn't it? Anuma-san was basically saying he's still now, when they're sort of talking about they aiming to hit gold status, he's still thinking about adding stuff or talking about adding new bits, and it's gonna be huge, massive.
But you can't 100% it, folks, and that's what they said.
Well, there was that point, wasn't it, where he was showing all of his pictures off of all his save files, and obviously Anuma's sounds like it might not actually be impossible then. You might just do it.
He's like, every bug, every rupee, lock, stop, the lot.
Yeah, that's it. When he says he's completed them 100%, he really has done the job.
Hardcore. Cool. So anyway, moving on over to our third bullet hole for this week. What we got, Link?
Well, what I thought started off when I saw the headline, I was pretty stoked for, but it's somewhat turned into a bit of a debacle. But, well, again, the words EA Community Manager and debacle aren't exactly uncommon at the moment.
Here we go again.
Daniel Lingen tweeted out earlier in the week a simple one-word hashtag, Skate 4. Obviously, this is off the back of a lot of their social media channels. Every time
gets decimated.
It does. It just generally, there's always at least one person replying in their Instagram feed, on their Facebook, on their Twitter, with the words Skate 4. Just that it. Hashtag Skate 4.
Hey, what do you think of the new Battlefield 1
map? Skate 4.
Skate 4.
Oh, here's some new Andromeda gameplay. Skate 4. And it just kept going on like that. So obviously
trolling them with their own IP. I love it.
He's then created a meltdown of certain sections of the internet with this tweet, which then
because for once they've gone Skate 4 back at somebody.
Exactly. So the internet's gone wild, but then it quickly got firmly shut down by EA boss, i.e. the man that runs the company, so a man that probably knows a bit better, Andrew Wilson, by basically saying, no, we're not making it, and it's definitely not being started in the fiscal year up to 2018. So, that's kind of been shut down. But
do you know what makes me laugh the most out of all of this is they've literally got a fan base. Like what happens in Shamu, it's like they've got a fan base holding guns pointed at the building going, make this game, we want to buy it, and they're like, no.
I just hope they do eventually do it, and they don't do what they did to Mirror's Edge, and instead of it being this wonderful open world like Skate normally is, they'll make it linear, and just do the wrong thing with it. I don't know. But on the back of that, we've had Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
He's been back in the news recently. Obviously, they're making a documentary about the Tony Hawk series of games. It's got one of the producers that was pretty much all in it from the get-go.
Man, that is going to be a sad documentary.
Oh God, it will be. It'll be one of those things that you sort of finish it and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I've watched that. I feel somewhat sullen.
Can't believe they ruined that.
Passed me that heavy liquor and those strong sleeping pills.
Yeah, horrible thing.
But anyway,
yeah, sorry.
So we're getting back to the point. Apparently, he's got something in the works. He's been discussing and doing some talks with various companies. So there's some obviously, there's nothing set in stone. No contracts have been signed.
Right.
But he was the best part. The only bit of good news really to come from this story is it's out of Activision's grasp. So Activision aren't involved. So it's like, what we need, Tony, is your skating game, but with an open world, because open worlds are big right now.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's the whole idea of an open world. It's supposed to be big. No, they're really in right now. Oh, God.
And you need a peripheral as well.
Yeah,
like a skateboard with no wheels. And that'll be your only control system.
Look at the numbers of the Wii's doing. Yes, but again, you're not going to get a 90-year-old woman that can do a bit of bowling to start popping ollies. No. Please.
No. So all in all,
hopefully we might see some skating games. Well, it's the typical EA way, isn't it? If Tony Hawk's brings out a game, they'll bring out another Skate 4. It's simple. So hurry up, Tony, and then we'll get another Skate.
I just want to say my faith in Tony Hawk has gone completely as a game. Let's see what they come up with.
yeah.
Right, let's shift on over to the beef.
I think it's a good way to segue.
Yes, let's. Oh yeah, it's what's the beef, Chief? This is basically where we break it out. We break out the beef and we tell it as it is. We say, there's the beef. And the beef this week, for me, actually is about the human race. Just generally.
Would it be more human nature?
It's just... So, first things first, I bought Galgun. My name is Baron Marf, I admit it, I bought Galgun. And it's just so wrong, Link. It's so very wrong.
But not one of those good ones that's so wrong it's right.
No, I mean, so as a race, it's our jobs. There's people out there, like the people who, the astronauts and stuff like that. We want to push the envelope. We want to see what man can achieve, right? And there's some points, like you look at the world wars, yeah? We go to that point and we think, we don't want to go there again. It's not right, that's the limit. And I think we know with this the content of this game, that it's going beyond that limit. It's too much. It's too far. It's not right. And so I played it. Last night, Cryoman came round. We broke out Galgun. It's a single player, so it's take it in turns. I've never felt so comfortable in my life in front of one of my mates as playing that. It's like standing in the middle of a city square with your pants around your ankles, covered in feathers and tar, and just kind of going, this is what I do, this is who I am. It's just not something you feel comfortable doing, really. I mean, have you seen much of this game, Lee?
I've seen bits and bobs of it online.
Right.
It's one of those. It's always been somewhat of a poor choice of words, but the butt of certain jokes.
Oh dear.
And it's always been seen as somewhat of a laughable.
So I keep saying this. Look, listen, please believe me. I bought it as a social experiment. I bought it to see really how far it goes. The idea in this game is that Cupid is supposed to shoot you to make you fall in love, overloads her guns where she's not paying attention, and gives you what they call super popularity something.
Yeah.
It has to have the word super in front of it. And all the girls are just going nuts for you. And what you have to do is bring them to ecstasy by firing your pheromone shot at them. And it's an on-the-rail shooter, and like House of the Dead, but with needy schoolgirls all over you.
Replacing zombies.
Yeah.
But still probably just as much clawing.
There was a point, Link, where look in a different direction, and there's one right there in front of the screen, and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? Get away from me!
Quick, blow her face with a shotgun!
Yeah.
Oh, the pheromone gun.
Shoot her in her face. Yeah, it's just it was wrong. And then so I could just about deal with that reasonably, just about deal with that. But do you know what bit I couldn't deal with?
Yeah.
Doki Doki mode. So Doki Doki mode basically is where you really work over one particular girl as she pretty much walks around. Well, the one time I played it, she was in the doggy position, and you just change camera modes, so you ended up looking wherever. I didn't change camera modes. Cryman was shouting at me to change camera modes, but I managed to finish her off in the view that I had. But it's just poking and prodding them repeatedly in way, and I quote, sensitive spots.
Yeah.
It's just not right, and I don't know how this game has got made, and more so how Sony have sanctioned it to be released on the console.
Well, I think it's, like I say, it's a couple of questions really, isn't it? I mean, should it be allowed?
No.
I mean, the thing is, there are many games of this vein in Japan. Obviously, one that's been brought west, I can think of. It's not the same. Obviously, it's a scrolling beat 'em up or a 3D beat 'em up. Is Senran Kagura, which is based on an anime. There's another one as well, I'll tell you, that's been brought west, is Akiba's Beat or Akiba's Trip.
Right.
And that's basically a part of Akihabara in Japan, which is their little like tech street.
Yeah.
You've got these sort of vampire kind of creatures or beings. They're human, but they're vampires.
Right.
But the only way to defeat them is to obviously to work them, beat the shit out of them for a bit, and then you've got to rip their clothes off of them, because once they get direct sort of sunlight to their skin, it kills them.
Right.
So you've got to derobe them to kill them.
So I see how they shoehorn that in there.
Yeah.
We don't need this game.
No.
We don't need this anime.
So are P-Cube, then, the publishers, are they wrong to bring this west?
Yes. Yes.
That's easy. And that's done.
Yeah.
Right, we've solved that.
I know there should be a discussion piece around this, but that game, it made me horribly uncomfortable. And I'm now trying to forcibly loan it to you, so I'm embarrassed that it's on my save file. I have a genuine concern that just by ordering it from a shop,
you'll end up on some register.
I'm on a register now, yeah, basically, yeah. So, moving away from Galgun. Oh, by the way, the tag name to it, it's not Galgun Peace, it's Galgun Double Peace. Like, there's a double amount of peace. You can't just... It's just peace. You only have peace.
I think it's because it's a sequel as well.
Double peace.
Yeah.
Okay. So, moving on slightly, you sent me a little article earlier on this week from Kotaku with regards to some more inappropriate stuff. Now, Team Ninja?
Yep.
Notorious...
Famed for their Dead or Alive series.
Which is...
They used to be.
Yeah.
Now it's more just Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball Pervy Action 42 or whatever number it's up to now.
They've made a lot of these games. This is literally just women in bikinis with massive boobs, tight asses, and wearing thongs, playing volleyball.
Yeah.
There are no male characters, I don't believe.
No, even though the roster of Dead or Alive does feature many male.
More male characters than females.
Yeah.
None of them are made over to volleyball. There's lots of clips that you can make, intros of them effectively crawling on all fours, playing with the water, all this sorts of thing. Completely unnecessary.
There was that, so all of the kind of stuff that Anita Sarkeesian woman would literally send her into an apoplectic fit.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So, and then recently, some attentive player has noticed that there's a little bit of a glitch.
Yes, was the not safe for work glitch?
Yes,
as it was appropriately tagged.
So, as you can basically make one of your characters come on screen, they start splashing water all over themselves while they're playing in the shallows of the sea. Yeah, just splashing water, and then you can pause the animation. And then move the camera around to get the perfect shot while she's in some squatting awkward position, which is what they effectively did on this video. Bless you, Link.
Thank you.
And as you fall underneath the waterline, it makes all their clothes and hair, as it was, disappear.
Nice.
So,
Shaven Haven.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so. I know they have to build models in this way, and it's something to do with how they put the skin of the costumes on top of the model. I get that, but you just.
It's one of those, you know, that would have got through Q&A. Someone would have spotted that, and they'd be like, "No, it's fine.
It's extreme volleyball.
It's totally fine. They'll love it."
Easter egg. Right, enough of all these inappropriate. Here's a finishing thought for you folks on that particular meatball.
Boom.
Phrasing boom. Is we don't need these games, they're for perverts. End of. We'll leave it at that. We've got another little meatball for this week, though.
Yeah, it was quite a frustrating one.
Treacherous journey, wasn't it?
Well, obviously, we was talking about that we've talked about in the past, hoping to get onto the Wildlands beta. So I got an email this week. You've been selected to the Wildlands beta. You can invite up to 3 of your friends to play alongside with you, which I thought was cool.
4-player co-op, yeah.
Exactly, makes sense. So got onto the phone, sent out the messages, sort of first come first serve, hit me up, and whoever gets back to me first gets the codes. And so yeah, got them all sent out.
Sure did.
It was a complete fucking ball ache.
It
was really easy for me, but in turn, having to explain to everybody else what they need to do was still a ball ache for me.
It's just like Ubisoft just have no plans whatsoever for this shit. They're just like, okay, some intern's going to cover that bit.
Well, shall I just list my issues? I think that'd probably be easiest, wouldn't it? So obviously my issues with the system. Number one, why did you have to use Uplay? Everybody in the industry knows that this is the worst fucking browser or third-party system that PC users have to use. It's awful. Just
a very touch on Uplay very, very quickly. It's just so cheaply done. It feels so arduous and everything is so hydraulic. There's no natural connections from one thing to another. It feels like bloatware on anything else that you're trying to achieve. Yeah, it's a horrible experience. So based on that alone, you know, Ubisoft should be at least listening and going, "You're right. This thing's a pig. We need to change it."
But yeah, so obviously to round off the Uplay gripes, why was it then so difficult to use?
My bad. Yeah,
you know, because it could have been really easy. You've been sent. That was it. The invites, they needed to be on my Uplay friends list.
Right.
Great, fucking wonderful. I'd not gone on that to the point of I needed it for something, and that's the only reason I went on there.
Forcibly, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously I've had to invite them through that. So I've got everyone on there, and they've I'm on Uplay. So I've then sent the invite. But you can't do it through the app.
No.
No. You've got to actually go on the website. I'll go on my phone. No. The web it doesn't really like it on your phone. So get the laptop out.
Yeah, go on your phone, and the username and password section.
It's been
far off the right of the screen.
It's not been configured to scale for mobile. No, of course not. Perfect. Like you say, fucking intern. But then, why can't you just use the Xbox app? It's for an Xbox game.
No, we don't have that functionality.
No. But then, why couldn't they have just emailed me the codes once the people I'd sent them the invite to had accepted or received their acceptance email?
Fraud?
Because we want to make sure that you're getting it. Exactly, send me the code, and then I clearly know these people. There is a way that I can then get that information to them direct. So we can all go, right, I've got the codes, we can all start downloading it together, then we can all joke about who's got the lamest internet connection and who's going to be last. But yeah, it's just a complete ball ache.
I mean, for me, so I got an email from you, and saying, go get access to it. Cool. I had a Uplay account.
Yeah.
So I was able to. Well, I should have been able to just log straight in. It's the same password and username that I use on the Xbox, obviously, because it's the same account. And logically, I knew it. So I knew it. I knew it was correct. I tried going in on the phone, even though you did say don't, because I couldn't get on through the main browser, because every time I logged on with the main browser, it just timed out and then took me straight back to the same screen. I then tried it on the phone, and on the phone it came up with an error message, which obviously gave me a bit more of a direction as to what was going wrong. It said load error. That was it. So that told me nothing more really, and obviously I was doing all of this off the screen because it doesn't scale correctly. I then thought, right, maybe it's the fact that it's not happy with my password, so I then tried resetting my password. So when I went to do that, I got through to the correct page. It sent me the link to my email address. I clicked on that, got into the browser page where it says now put in your password, put it in, hit enter. It did nothing. So I then reloaded that again, and that did nothing also. So I wasn't sure whether it had changed it or it hadn't.
Oh, gosh.
Because it sent me no confirmation. I assumed not. Then eventually I think I went to take a shit and came back, and one of the screens where even though it said I'd already logged in, tried to log in and it had failed and it was asking me to log in again, it then said that I had access to the closed beta. Congratulations, and hey, don't forget to give us feedback. Didn't tell me anything about how to get the code or how to download it or anything like that.
Yeah, here's the best part of the feedback, because I wanted to go onto the forums to find out some information about how the codes are delivered.
Yeah.
Because, that's the best place to go, the official Ubi forums.
Yeah.
Click on the forum, you don't have access to this forum. Why not? I'm on the closed beta.
Yeah.
You should have access to the closed beta forum.
Yeah.
You've got access to the feedback betas and all that, and the feedback forums. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. In the end, I had to go to Reddit to find out that it was you'd then get sent an email to say you've been accepted, to then get another email, which I was quite surprised. They said it could take up to 24 hours, so I thought it was going to take 23. But it was like you were on that night, though, weren't you?
I got mine within 20 minutes of getting the confirmation page.
That's right.
But the confirmation page took 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, for me, the real crux of this one is, look, you've been pitching the shit out of this game for ages, yeah? We all knew it was coming, this beta. People like yourself have gone on, shown commitment, said, look, I'm going to get on it. You know you're going to give out 3 codes to that person.
Yeah.
So there's a chance, you know the quantity of people that you can expect to be trying to log into this thing.
Essentially, say you've got 10,000 places. Well, you know you're going to have another 30,000 potentials.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, living in the world we live in now, that you can buy virtual resource. Yeah. So you can scale your servers and everything and your internet connection to support this for a short period of time. Get your shit together, boys. This is dreadful, and it's a really horrible experience and really pissed me off.
I mean, if like it was the case that was the only way that they could achieve it, the way that they have, fine, okay, I'll begrudgingly accept that. If you would have sent the codes out last week, nothing was under NDA, so it's not like that you can't tell anyone and you've got a risk of shit leaking. No one's going to give a shit. Send me the code a week ago, so that way I can get everybody on the same page and
get it
everybody
downloaded.
before the fucking thing's even opened up. Everyone could be downloaded and have their code ready. Because if you'd have had 3 or 4 days, it wouldn't have been a ball ache.
No.
It was the fact that it was starting on that Friday.
But
you got home on that Friday, and you then spent 2-3 hours fucking frantically trying to get this access to this code.
As does everybody else.
Exactly.
And the thing is it's not even a long beta, was it?
No, it's not. It's not especially long.
Was it 2 days?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a complete farce the way it's been handled. I mean, somebody at Ubisoft, I know they don't like to listen, but seriously, they've got to try, because it was a complete ball ache.
Appalling.
Well, based on that experience, I wouldn't attempt that again.
Yeah.
If it said invite 3 friends, no, I just can't be bothered with the 4.5 hours worth of conversations I'm going to have with people when they're essentially going to have a go at me because I've put them through this.
Because they're not getting the support they need. Yeah.
Well, to quickly round it off, Smithy, the shit he actually spent an hour with Ubisoft to try and change his email because he didn't have access to the email that he'd used. Because they'd send him an email to the old email address to confirm that he wanted to change his email.
Excellent.
Yeah. But anyway, that's
great,
another
great
story
guys.
altogether.
Great work. Right, let's shift on over to the Uncharted.
I think we should get some first impressions.
Yeah, let's talk about it in a bit. Uncharted territory. It's our rambling zone, as if the whole thing isn't a big ramble anyway, but we've
got a bit of direction at least today.
We got something to talk about in particular. Let's see where we end up, and particularly we're talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, I mentioned a little bit in the beef earlier on how much of a joke it was to try and get on the beta. It was a closed beta. The first opportunity that general public or some of the closed general public get an opportunity to play the game. Short beta, only a few days.
Yeah, I think it was just a case of just making sure all of the systems were at play and working okay.
Yeah. So, Link, do you want to give us a little bit of a background on it?
Yeah, so obviously Ghost Recon Wildlands was developed by Ubisoft Paris, obviously it's published by Ubisoft, and they'll be releasing on the 7th of March, so not long to wait.
Yeah.
It's an open world third-person shooter with RPG elements, so obviously you've got like skill trees, you can level up, get various new upgrades and abilities. There's 4-player co-op, which is drop in and out, so you can go in and if you haven't unlocked stuff, it's not going to affect your progress at all on your account. There's like various factions and stuff at play as well. So you've got like rebels, rebel scum. There's like the badass fucking military UPD. Then obviously you've got the Santa Blanca cartel enemies.
So there's quite a variety. You're not just going up against.
It's us against their bad guys. Well, it is, but there's purple bad guys
and green ones and yellow ones.
So it's quite a varied there. But I think the most remarkable thing about the game is the world itself. You've got 21 areas, or biomes as they call them. Biomes, yeah. It's just to describe a sort of like a natural fauna and flora of an area. But it's based in Bolivia. So obviously you've got varying differences of fauna. So obviously it goes from jungles to plains to deserts to mountains. Don't know if there's snow. Probably is because there's mountains. And it spans sort of close to 200 square kilometres. So it's a big old map.
That is pretty massive actually for a map. I mean, which, funny enough, for me, was one of the things that was a key contributor to my impressions of the game. So, vast map, looked around, it looked right. When you first come in and you look down into the valley, I looked at that and I was like, wow, that's pretty big, and I know this is only a pinprick of the game, so it was pretty impressive. But traversal elements of it for getting around, I mean, how did you find it?
A bit of a pig. I mean, for a game that is spanning such a size, the driving wasn't brilliant. It really, I mean, it wasn't even, I would say, adequate.
No, I mean, I was riding around on bikes trying to stay on roads, or cars trying to stay on roads, and sometimes when you're hooning it through a map and you're hanging on the road, you're like, oh, that was close, but I'm just in there, and it feels right. This was completely the opposite. This was like I was somehow staying on the roads, but not through any feeling of me actually achieving it, No.
But I mean, I suppose you could call it functional.
Yeah.
I mean, the choppers weren't too bad. That was all right.
So helicopters I thought were really good because for me, almost, dare I say it, trumped GTA helicopters. And the reason why I say that is because the blades on the top of the helicopter truly dictate the direction that you are accelerating, where in GTA it's still sort of leaning. And I managed to find myself circling a car with a machine gun firing on this helicopter, just absolutely destroying it. And I've never been able to do that, and I mean a really close, tight circle.
Oh yeah, no, I was doing it yesterday with some guy in the back, and like you say, you can just keep, that you're coming around to a perfect arc, and it's just you're just going to absolutely just leave a maelstrom of bullets where he needs to. Yeah, so that was the one sort of traversal element I was really happy with. Bikes, however, I mean, I've taken a few clips for those who want to see it, but you just basically hold down accelerate, and whether you hit trees, on ground you get the steep ground which has still got grass on it because you can go up it, and then the sheer rock faces. I just did a fair bit of trialing up rocks and
just
stuff.
Hit the rock face. It doesn't matter whether you hit it in a way which anybody would usually die, you're not coming off that bike. But
I suppose that the difficult thing is for a game like that, I mean, when you've got something like Grand Theft Auto out there, or Just Cause, that where they've built games with having to travel these distances in mind, whereas this is, I suppose, is a Ghost Recon game bolted into an Assassin's Creed game in terms of the size of the map. So I suppose it's a difficult thing for them to try and implement. Is a good Because let's be honest. I mean, the mechanics of the driving is a really important one for it to.
For a huge map like that, yeah, massive part. I mean, what about the actual gameplay itself? I mean, where were you with that?
Well, I mean, the gameplay loop for me, it pretty much consisted of pick a map or a spot, one that's not too far to drive from.
Or walk.
Yeah, well, that's what I found myself doing a lot. Is running, because for the 1,000 meters it is to drive it's just as quick to run.
Yeah, and a lot of it's like you're here, it's on the other side of the mountain. You're actually going to drive
down the mountain and around it and then back up. So yeah, just run over the mountain, exactly. But anyway, like you say, you pick your spot on the map which you want to head to, make your journey there. Obviously, depending on the mission kind, it could be a convoy mission, something like that, or just a story mission. You generally get out and you scope out the area, do a bit of a recce, find out where the enemies are. Obviously, make your plan, and then obviously it's execute your mission, rinse and repeat, and that's pretty much the gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Because again, I didn't really play a lot of the side missions, but I'd imagine it'd be a case of go in here, kill some people, steal something, go in here, kill some people, capture this person, go in and kill some people, pick up this item.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much go in, hunt them down, kill them, steal something.
You solve everything by killing.
Yeah.
And do you know what? It felt a bit Just Cause-like to me. From that extent, I was just like, this is just going to be... I mean, in Just Cause, it kind of embraces it. You effectively, what you're doing is grinding your way through a lot of killing and collecting, and that's what the game's about, you know. Yeah. But this was... I think it needed to be something else to have it sort of fully fleshed out, you know, in a gameplay which will keep me coming back to it.
Yeah. No, I think it's one of those. I mean, it's a difficult one.
Yeah. So, I mean... Overall, graphically, this, you know, when I first looked at it, I was like, okay, that didn't look too bad. How did you find the graphics?
I mean, it's not going to win any awards. I mean, it's no Uncharted 4. Let's beat that. Let's get that off the mat. But I wouldn't say it looks bad. I mean, it looks pretty enough. Everything's got a nice weight to it. Everything seems rounded off and nice. It's not like you see lots of... like where the trees, where it's just two flat textures, just sort of crisscross to look whole. Everything's got a weight to it. Yeah, I mean, when I was in the helicopter, just going over the tree lines, the trees sort of brush out the way more than in any other game that I've experienced. That's what I mean. So it
looked the part.
It does look like a viable jungle. Obviously, the only area that we had access to was a jungle. A few bits of river here and there. But no, it ran fairly well with no real problems with frame rate. I mean,
screen tearing?
I did notice a little bit of screen tear, but that was purely in like the first 5 minutes of me loading it up.
I was impressed that it loaded up quite quickly. And also, you know, all of that seemed to work reasonably well as well.
Yeah,
quite impressed by that.
But I mean, I don't want to sort of go on it. I didn't give it that much of a close inspection, to be fair.
I wouldn't call it beautiful, put it that way. But a lot of the Ghost Recon games have never been this visually stunning thing. What they've been is quite core to the physics of the shooter, and all the graphics are what they are, you know. So
I mean, that was one thing I really, really did like. I was pegged down by a couple of snipers, and I could just get shots off with an assault rifle at one of them. But the scope, I couldn't see shit. I was on the iron sights, so all I could see was where my bullet was hitting this metal tower. So it's just a case of angle up, bam, headshot, and just a proper lucky spawn shot. But you're just getting that interaction with the world itself from visual, as opposed to I've not seen a hit marker, blah blah blah.
Yeah. I mean, just dancing very quickly on sort of the controls element. I think. There was definitely some sniping moments I had with the gun, which I found quite satisfying. You got the bullet drop, you know, it really worked. Multiplayer, that worked quite seamlessly. I
had no problems with that. We didn't have any dropouts really.
No.
I mean, there was a few sketchy moments, but I think that was down to it being the beta, where someone was basically giving it some. He was body popping.
Well, I tried getting into the passenger seat of the vehicle that you were driving, and my character ummed and ahed about getting into it, and then kind of went, I can't, I'm going to sit in the back. And I was like, what's going on? And meanwhile, the Mies was on the headset laughing his head off, saying, ha ha ha, I've pinched a seat. And I'm going, no, you haven't, it's empty.
Yeah.
And on the map, he was on the mini-map, he was elsewhere. He was back at a base.
Yeah, we'd left him basically. We'd gone driving off and he was still there. But apparently, no, he was in the van. Yeah. To the point where I said, well, we'll stop, get out and get back in and hopefully that'll fix it. No, he didn't move an inch on the map. And eventually, he popped back in and he was there, like you say, throwing some shapes. There's
the roll cage on the Jeep, and he was straddling it on my one with one hand over his mouth, the other hand sort of waving in the air like.
I was giving us Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
Woo! Right atom vomit.
Yeah. So a little bit of glitchiness, but hey, it's a beta.
It's a beta. That's it.
Yeah. Controls generally.
I mean, it was a bit confusing at first because it's a third-person shooter.
So no cover-based.
No, that was the only thing. I was really annoyed about that. I kept pressing the wrong buttons while I was driving as well. I kept pressing the handbrake, and it was obviously then switch seats, and I was like, I can't move. Why's the accelerator not working? It turns out you're in the passenger side.
I like the technique for making helicopters spin.
Yeah,
which is basically get into the passenger seat and watch it lose control.
Yeah, that's totally awesome. I think that's what I did when I was flying a chopper and all three of us crashed. I think that's what I might have done.
I don't know what's going on. I'm in the wrong seat.
The only thing I would say about is the order wheel. I didn't like.
Never used it. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, fuck that.
Well, in multiplayer it's pointless. It's only really useful when you're single player. But it was a real pig to get the one you wanted to select. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guns didn't pack any punch. It didn't feel like there was any real difference between them, did it?
So the guns are very, very, very Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
As in, they'll just go, and then somebody goes, and they're dead, and it is all pretty much a few hits and you're dead, like 2 bullets, 3 bullets, you're dead. But what I did like about the guns was the level of customization. Yeah. They've put a great deal of detail in exploding the weapon and then allowing you to change all the sort of the trigger,
every facet,
the barrel, everything, lock, stock, and lock. So that was pretty cool.
I mean, everything handled fairly well.
Yeah,
That's what I mean, it wasn't like the controls were loose. The only thing that you would say out of any of the control mechanics was the driving would let it down. Obviously, didn't get a chance to go on the water.
Yeah,
but there were gunboats though.
I managed to drive up and down a few rivers as if they didn't exist at all.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. So, your wrap on it then, Link, where you at?
Well, I enjoyed the time I spent playing. I mean, I'm intrigued to see how the world's going to turn out once it's a bit of a full. Obviously, we only saw a little microcosm of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I liked how you could wade in proper big dick style and just basically, I don't care, shoot at me all you want, motherfucker, I'm taking you down. Mm-hmm. Or if you had a capable enough team, which we didn't, but you can ninja the fuck out of stuff. And that I nearly got for a whole fucking mission where you're supposed to have 4 people just on my own with my MP5, just like, sneak in, tap tap, wait for you to come out on your rounds, tap tap, and then fucked it.
That's the thing that I've always loved about these games, is that whole sort of, if you plan it right, you can do some pretty badass shit.
Yeah, and it's the same way that Destiny makes you feel like a complete, like, overpowered badass. Yeah. This can make you feel like some proper fucking, some special forces ninja.
Yeah.
That being said, I had a fucking terrible time on the single player. The order system that they've got set up, like the wheel, it just had me fumbling around for the right order. But I'm sure that'll get a bit easier with practice.
Hopefully they're going to do some sort of shit out, because frankly, all in all, it's I don't know. I think it's got a long way to go.
I mean,
pros and cons?
Yeah, I was just about to say, is there anything that you liked about it? But I think I'll open up the gambit now. I mean, I like the size of it. I mean, even just that little area that we was in, it felt like you could have a really good laugh in there. I enjoyed the tactical gameplay side of it. I like the idea of sneaking in. Are you in position? Yeah, I'm in position. You on target? Yeah, I'm on target. Right, ready, I'm free, sort of thing. I like all of that stuff. Really enjoyed that side of it, and it is really fucking cool when, like you see, you get sync shots set up and it's just like, right, execute, and it's just like bam, bam, bam. You just sort of 4 guys just drop instantly. Like, yeah, I'm a fucking badass. That being said, no cover mechanics. It just left me sort of. It's almost like a 1998 PlayStation 2 sort of. No, we just run and back out from the corner. Yeah. And just keep running in left and right. Gunplay felt a bit hollow. Like, there was no sort of, like, the sniper rifles didn't feel like they've got a real crack of
That's Ghost Recon games though.
Yeah.
They're all,
it's all very
Ubisoft tinny. Fucking anyway.
I mean, the Division was the same, wasn't it? And I found though that it could get boring real fast. unless you've got a real solid team that you can get shit
You
done.
love the shit out of that game.
Yeah. What about yourself? Any differing points?
Yes, the map's big. Anything where they give the character lots to play with, I always enjoy. However, when I looked at it, whenever I saw any sort of traversal, mountain range or anything, I just thought, even though I've got vehicles which effectively can just ride over anything, it's
That's
almost
going
like,
to be a ball ache.
what a ball ache. Oh God, I've got to go somewhere. And I know you've got fast travel.
I was going to say,
and all
what you do
that,
is you do the travelling, I'm going to wait here, I'm going to go get a cup of tea, and I'll be back and I'll just jump on.
and when you spawn in, you're always in the middle of a battle, so it's just like... which you instantly die, and then you have the pleasure of sitting there for a minute waiting to watch all your teammates. When you're like, I'm down, and everyone's like, yeah, you are.
Again, fuck's sake.
So, and bearing in mind that my style of gameplay is basically strap a grenade to my forehead and try and nut them to death, it doesn't really work in that sort of game very well. But positives, yeah. So there we go.
You didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I didn't pay for it. I don't know. I like the premise. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I think it could be really, really good. I just think the execution is, for want of a better word, bollocks.
I think it's going to be far too straight-laced for a lot of people.
Yeah. So how would you wrap on this then?
Well, I always like to ask myself a question at this point. A bit of introspection.
Why, Link? Why?
Well, I have a little look at your own reasons and make a decision based on that. No external influences. But I've asked myself, would I buy it day one? Like, am I going to be excited come March the 7th? No, not really. I'll probably be playing GTA. To be honest, no, I probably wouldn't get it first day unless I got given it. I got burnt by the Division because of that, and that still leaves a sore, sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, overall, not particularly impressed. I would say is where I'm at. But look, there it is. Well, there we go, folks. It's episode 45 coming to a wrap. Any final thoughts for you, Link?
God, I hope they make Skate 4.
Yeah, they need to now after what's been going on this week. Final thoughts for me is thanks for the beta. Really appreciate it. Now I know I'm definitely not going to buy your game. So from Angry Link, it's
Adios.
And from me, it's Auf Wiedersehen.